This is what a San Juan worm looks like. At least I think that's what a San Juan worm looks like. So what am I supposed to do when Gary Borger at the Atlanta Fly Fishing Show throws up a slide like this and starts talking about a San Juan worm? And I don't see a San Juan worm there, except that Borger says there's an older version of a San Juan worm. So I thought we'd tie it. So I'm at the Atlanta Fly Fishing Show, and Gary Borger sticks this slide up, and he keeps talking about a San Juan worm in this slide. And I kept looking at the slide and thinking I didn't see anything there that looked like the San Juan worm I've always heard talked about. So I went home, and it just happens I'd been reading the book Designing Trout Flies by Borger, and I thought, man, I think I've seen that picture. And so I flipped through the back plates in it, and sure enough, there's a picture of this fly. And so I thought I'd tie it just for the heck of it, and it's tied on an English bait hook. Well, I can't find any English bait hooks easy to get to, so this is about the closest hook to an English bait hook, and it looks like this. It uses a yarn, which I got this is a burgundy color, although it's awfully close to a blood red. And I got this out at the Hobby Lobby, 99 cents for a whole big skein of the stuff. 65 yards, it says. And I also picked up some red, same, 99 cents. They had other colors too. I'm going to start this about what I call the first bend on this hook. And this is what I'm calling the first bend. And this back here is what I'm calling the second bend. And so at the second bend, I'm going to take my copper wire and I'm going to tie it in on my side of the hook and go ahead and wrap up a little bit. Then I'm going to take the yarn I'm going to start it with a pinch wrap, kind of pull it back. I'm going to wrap back down to where I started. And when I do stuff like this, I always take 3 or 4 real tight wraps where I'm going to start wrapping forward. And then I'm going to come forward, spiral to just behind the eye. And then, this is pretty straightforward. We just wrap the yarn around the hook until we get to just behind the eye. Then we tie it off. And now we're going to take the copper wire, and I'm wrapping this, spacing the wraps about 1/8 inch apart, just evenly up the body of the fly. And then I'm going to take a couple of wraps right at the front, build up a little bit of a head, and tie everything off. This, by the way, is an 8/0 flat red thread. Now, that's the fly that Borger, roughly the fly that Borger had a picture of. There's another way to tie this, and what I've done, I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to use a dubbing twister to twist this up. So I tie a loop in one end of the yarn, and then the other end of the yarn, I'm just going to do a quick pinch wrap to get it started. And then I want to wrap this pretty tight. I don't want to wind up with a lump in the back of this and then just bring the thread up to the eye. So then I'm going to stick my dubbing twister into the loop, and then we'll just spin it. I usually just stretch it out. The more you twist this, the better the yarn is going to cord up and the better your segmentation is going to look in the final fly. And so now that it's twisted, I'm just going to start going around the hook with it. And you can see you get really nice segmentation here. I found that using the dubbing spinner as kind of a holder for the yarn keeps it from coming untwisted on you, and all I have to really do is use my material hand to move the bobbin out of the way or to get out of the way of the point of the hook. When we get up to the eye, we just take a couple of wraps over the yarn and then in front, and then we get in and clip off. Couple 3-turn whip finishes. And there's an old style San Juan worm.